Support for Outdoor Nevada comes from Land Rover Las Vegas and Jaguar Land Rover Reno, proud to help introduce a new generation of adventurers to the diverse experiences that our state has to offer. Information at lrlv.com or jlrreno.com.
Nevada, a landscape as diverse as it is epic, where wide open nature and wild adventure call to the curious and the brave alike.
That foal there is about a week old.
In the Carson Valley, wildlife photographer J.T. Humphrey takes me to where I can get up close and personal with wild legends of the West.
These are the most prolific Ice Age fossil sites in the entire world.
I join up with a scientist to hunt for Ice Age beasts on the edge of Sin City.
Man, I'm so psyched. I'm so psyched.
I see what it's like to fly at Lake Las Vegas.
It's all so beautiful. I can't wait to get started.
And in the Ruby Mountains, we strap on some snowshoes for a hike with a spectacular view. I'm John Burke. I have a passion for the outdoors.
Today we're in the Valley of Fire.
He's a mid-400s.
And I'm on a mission to show you the one-of-a-kind history, science, nature, and adventure you find when you step outside. This is Outdoor Nevada. They're symbols of the American West, majestic and graceful, but also controversial. They're wild horses. We're in the Carson Valley, about an hour south of Reno. And the guy driving that Jeep up there is a wildlife photographer. He's gonna show me how to get the ultimate shot of wild horses. Meet J.T. Humphrey.
Grab your camera, take a little walk up this hill, and we have a band of about, I think there's 13 up here.
What's the game plan when you approach these horses?
Well, first off, you don't want to get too close. You don't want to drive them off. You watch their posture.
How close?
You can keep it around 100 yards or so.
Okay.
We're trying to get close to a band led by a stallion some call Blondie.
This is Blondie's band. Blondie is the big bay with a light colored blaze, the kind of blonde mane. He's got a real huge neck. He's the bad boy of the hills here. He's the lead stallion. He keeps the band protected. He keeps them in order.
What's the key in taking a good picture?
Patience. Patience and getting closer. I mean, we can get a little bit closer if we had a time. We move up a few steps at a time, go left and right, zigzag, until you see one start to move off, and then you stop and stay right there.
Here, use my camera. I want to see what you do. He says you need patience, but with a landscape like this, you really can't miss. It's that spectacular. And you actually saw one of these being born.
Recently, JT witnessed what I call a once-in-a-lifetime moment with this band, a wild horse birth.
Actually, I came up on this band just about 2 weeks ago. One of the foals on the far left just dropped, still in the sack, still all wet, just dropped. And I got my camera out real quick, got it on a tripod, started recording it. It took about 40 minutes for that foal to finally stand up. And you can see the band members coming around protecting it. The big brother would go down and bite the mane and try to pull that foal up, try to get it to stand up.
What were you feeling when you were watching that?
Oh, I don't know, just kind of in awe, actually.
We might not see a birth today, but I'm hoping we can go home with a poster-worthy portrait. Over 40,000 wild horses roam the American West.
They really are sort of a symbol of Nevada, aren't
It's
they?
an old icon west. Everybody relates to wild horses with old westerns and John Wayne.
Originally descended from stock animals, some 20,000 of them live in Nevada. With little predation or disease, populations can double in 4 years. Some say this puts severe pressure on land and water resources. Population management efforts are ongoing and remain controversial.
It's interesting, as a photographer, the more you interact with the horses, the more you have failed.
Well, in a sense, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping our distance keeps us and the horses safe.
So as spectacular as this is, and I really don't want to leave, you have something else for us that we can see, yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go see a bald eagle on a nest, and there's at least one chick.
Wild horses couldn't keep me from seeing that.
From icons of the West to our national symbol, we have one last stop on this photo tour. We're going to meet Chris Fichtel.
Hi, Chris Fichtel with the Nature Conservancy. Welcome to River Fork Ranch.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Chris is going to show us a pair of nesting bald eagles.
There are really only one pair of nesting eagles in the valley, in Carson Valley. They started nesting in 2010. Eagles do migrate through here in the spring and the fall, but this is the only pair we have that's resident and nesting.
We know there's at least one chick right now. We don't know how many eggs there were originally. There could be another chick. The eggs will hatch days apart, maybe a week apart. So this chick here looks like it's not even a week old.
Bald eagles lay 1 to 3 eggs. The eggs hatch at different times. Chris and JT have already seen one newborn. We're hoping to see a second one.
And there's a chick sitting right out front, looks like.
We grab a few shots of the lone chick when something unexpected happens.
It could be there's two chicks. Yep.
Excellent.
I got two.
Excellent.
I
All
got
right.
two. So, cool.
A second baby bald eagle pops up.
Boy, I understand the excitement when you find out that there's another one.
Yeah, that's very cool. This is our first time seeing that second chick.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. When you're this far back, but you have a lens like that, you can see just in
Yeah, from
real
here
time.
you see just the white dot,
That's
the
really
head.
nice, yeah.
But on here you get you get everything.
And you saw two
All every
little heads
feather.
pop up?
There's 2 heads.
JT gets the first clear shot of this new chick.
Yeah, probably that one's probably just a couple days old maybe.
And you got the pictures?
Oh yeah.
Got the pictures to prove it. You know, it's interesting, we were talking earlier about the signature of Nevada and the Wild West has always been those horses.
Right.
But when you see a bald eagle up in a tree, it's just,
A whole nother world. Yeah. And people don't think bald eagles are going to be in Nevada. They think Nevada is just a flat desert, and it really isn't, especially northern Nevada. It's mountainous. It's mostly mountainous.
if I were an eagle, that's where I'd be, right there. What a beautiful spot. Gentlemen, this is something I'm going to remember a long time. Let's roll, boys, before we cause any disturbance in the force.
So that was a good day, huh?
Many people think the story of Vegas starts and ends with the Strip.
Saber-toothed cats, giant elephants, dire wolves, these are things that most people see in history books, just in drawings. But out here in Tule Springs, Nevada, they come alive.
But UNLV professor of paleontology Josh Bondi knows the real history of this city hides in the dirt of these dusty hills.
He's going to tell us more about it. There he is now.
I meet Dr. Bondi at Tule Springs Park, 30 minutes north of the Las Vegas Strip. What are we doing here? We're hunting for fossils.
Josh, what's so special about this site here?
Well, it turns out that up here on the north end of the Las Vegas Valley, these are the most prolific Ice Age fossil sites in the entire world. So we find more Ice Age fossils in a small area here than probably any other place I've ever even heard of.
When the last ice age ended about 11,000 years ago, water covered much of Nevada. And where there's water, there's usually wildlife.
The first discoveries were back in 1909, where they reported a mastodon find in the Las Vegas Valley. Then subsequently in the 19-teens, 1930s, a couple famous paleontologists from California came out here and they found remains of horses, bison, an American lion.
A rich variety of ancient animals once called Nevada home. Giant sloths, mastodon, rhinoceroses, early species of horses and bison, and even an American lion. Massive predators weighing in at over 500 pounds, about 25% larger than modern-day lions.
So Josh, what other animals were found around here?
We found out that there's 2 species of bison here. So there's a great big bison, looks like a big modern bison, and then a Texas longhorn bison called bison latifrons. Would have been about 8 feet tall with great big long horns.
Out here, that was all out here.
Out here, yeah.
Another of Nevada's ancient giants, bison latifrons, weighed an estimated 4,400 pounds. That's twice the size of today's bull, about as heavy as a car.
Now, if you're looking for a fossil, what do you do?
There's a couple different scales of fossils. So if we look real close at this pond deposit, each one of these little individual white specks is a clamshell or a little snail shell.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a tiny little shell.
Yeah, it's a little pond snail that lived there 14,000 years ago.
14,000 years ago, these mounds of dirt were the bottom of a living pond, and the bones of the prehistoric creatures who roamed this land may be right under our boots.
And one of the hardest things about when you first start looking for bones is the pattern recognition. So if we look real close up here, I'll show you a piece. That's a piece of bone right there.
Now, how did you know that? Because to me, it just looks like everything else.
You just have to train your eye for that. Something that looks too regular, something that doesn't look too sandy, something that doesn't look too gravelly. Smooth surfaces, round surfaces, patterned.
It's a bone of what? Any idea?
My guess would be it's more bison. And you find a chunk like that that's on a little slope like this. Usually what we do is we follow it uphill until we don't find any more of it, and that's where we put our test pits.
Test pits meaning that's where you start digging to see if there's more?
Yep. We try to find where it's coming out. Because when it's out like this, it's been exposed to the elements for years, decades maybe even. And so we want the pristine stuff, which is still in the ground, and tells us a little bit more about the anatomy of the animal.
You know what's amazing, just sitting here talking to you, is that this isn't just about finding a bone here or finding a bone there. You actually put it together and make stories out of what happened here.
Yes, but when I look at a bone, that bone's a story. So every single bone was part of a bigger organism who lived its life somewhere here in the Las Vegas Valley tens of thousands of years ago, met its demise one way or another, withstood the statistical probability of even falling in a place that would eventually become rock, and to preserve its story.
I don't know, it's like reading a history book.
Absolutely, the story's in the rocks.
For experts like Dr. Bondi, fossils are stories trapped in the earth, waiting to be uncovered.
During the course of a 1-week survey of this property, we found over 24 brand new sites, and right now we're actively excavating about 3 or 4 of them.
Tule Springs spreads over 20,000 acres. It's a treasure trove of bones where scientists could possibly find even more prehistoric secrets.
You know, I'm gonna find something substantial, I'm telling you, without you having to point it out. I'm gonna figure this out.
So here we have a little piece of mammoth tusk. So this is Ice Age ivory.
With Dr. Bondi's help, I make my own fossil discovery. It's a tiny fragment of tusk, something this professor knows a thing or two about.
Out here, what is the biggest, most dramatic thing you've ever found?
Me personally is a mammoth tusk. So we got about a 5 to 6 foot long mammoth tusk that we dug up a couple of years ago out here.
And what'd you do with it?
We dug it up, put it in a plaster jacket, and then hauled it down to the Las Vegas Natural History Museum downtown. So where it's on display and kids can come check it out now.
Dr. Bondi's tusk discovery reminds us of the rich variety of prehistoric creatures that once lived right here, just a short drive from Las Vegas Boulevard.
How do you ever stop? How do you ever sleep at night? You could be here forever.
It's all just, I mean, that's why it's a passion too. So come out here and you get to walk places that people haven't walked in decades, centuries, even in some projects, and you're looking for an even deeper history to the earth.
It's peaceful out here too.
Yeah, you got a lot of time for introspection when you're out here looking, getting the sunburn and thinking about life.
Now a national monument, Dr. Bondi and other experts will continue to hunt Tule Springs Hills on the lookout for fossils, and writing more pages in the book of Nevada's natural history. What they find next is anybody's guess. Have you ever wanted to soar like a superhero?
Today, I'm at Reflection Bay Golf and Beach Resort at Lake Las Vegas. This happens to be one of my favorite places in this area. It is so incredibly beautiful.
This might be the place to do it. It's called flyboarding.
Is it fun?
It is the coolest thing I've ever done, hands down.
And these guys are the experts. Meet Trevor and Jared Pope, a couple of brothers who operate Flyboard Las Vegas.
So tell me about flyboarding. Who started this?
The inventor's name is Frankie Zapata. He's a guy out of France, and it's been around for a couple of years, and it's just boomed. I mean, it's just awesome.
French jet ski champ Frank Zapata invented the flyboard in 2012.
He gave us the ability to fly. We're very thankful.
By attaching a long tube to a jet ski and a pair of boots, Zapata created a propulsion system capable of shooting you almost 50 feet into the air. You can fly, spin, flip, or dive underwater. It's a little like being a dolphin.
Well, can you give me a tutorial? What are we doing? What kind of equipment do we need?
All right, so to get started with flyboarding, there's a jet ski that provides the force through the hose.
Trevor's clearly got the hang of it, but now it's my turn to see if I can tame these water jets.
We're using these jet skis here?
We'll be using one jet ski that's hooked up to the back of the jet ski, and all the force that comes through the hose is provided by the jet ski. And once we connect this, all that water is just going to come out of these nozzles right here, and that'll raise you up like this. Once we get in, we're going to get you in the taxi position. That's basically just going to be on your belly. First, we're going to get you all strapped up.
Okay.
I'll give you a life jacket.
All right.
Important to keep you above the water.
Okay.
And then secondly, I'll give you a jacket or a helmet. This is going to let me communicate with you. It's also going to protect your head just in case we have any bad falls.
Oh, so you can talk to me
I
in
can
there.
talk to you through that, but you cannot talk to me. So I apologize. Just some standard wakeboard boots. And basically, we're going to get these as tight as they can go. The tighter, the better.
And how high can you go or do you go?
So if someone that's very experienced, you can go up to around 45 feet. You're only going to be going around 10 to 12 feet, I would say. And
which is when you're doing something like this is higher than you think.
It's a lot higher than you think because your point of view is actually at the top of your head, obviously. And then when you're up there, it's
Yeah.
a lot higher. So however high you are, you're actually however
Add another 6 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it feels good though. So the biggest thing is don't get nervous up there. Just realize you're only gonna fall in water and you'll have a good time.
He's already warning me where I'm gonna fall. Not if you're gonna fall, but just let me tell you how you're gonna fall.
Everyone falls. It's just part of the sport.
Once I'm strapped in with all my safety gear on, can't wait to see how this contraption works.
Man, I'm so psyched. I'm so psyched.
Just hop right on in and push off, and there you go. Just lay flat. You're gonna feel the water come out in a second here.
Trevor takes me out past the rocks where it's safe and hits the throttle. I get a few inches off the water and crash. Not bad for a first try.
Keep your legs straight like this, and then come straight up.
Trevor says the trick to this is locking my knees.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, it works! I may be falling, but each time I'm getting higher and higher.
Hey, so right when you feel your foot dipping, lift it up a little bit.
A few more pointers from Trevor, and I'm ready to bring out my inner superhero. I'm really getting the hang of this. To move, you dip your toes or pull them up. Trevor wants to add more power. More power means more altitude and further to fall. I'm having a blast, but it's time to give these jet boots back to the pros. Flyboarding may be just 3 years old, but with guys like Trevor as a guide, we can all be flying in no time. What do you get when you venture off the beaten path and take a chance on a snowy mountain trail? We're about to find out.
Yeah, beautiful day out here. Good morning.
Nice to see you. Hey, Nancy, Dwayne, how's everything?
Good.
Good.
This is Dwayne Jones, owner of Cedar Creek Clothing in Elko. This is Nancy Taylor, U.S. Forest Service Recreation and Wilderness Manager. And that's Kasha, her dog.
I feel like I'm in Switzerland or something. This is unbelievable.
Look at the sunshine on the snow.
Gorgeous. No, we're not in Switzerland. This place has a name. Where are we?
Good guys, we're in the Ruby Mountains today.
Located in northeastern Nevada, the Ruby Mountains run southwest for about 80 miles. Early explorers found garnets here and mistook them for rubies, hence the name Ruby Mountains.
It's also beautiful. I can't wait to get started. Let's
All
rock.
right, let's do it.
There are roughly 24 alpine lakes in the Ruby Mountains, and we're about to hike to one called Island Lake. But it's going to take some special gear. Snowshoes. The path is dry here, yet higher up the trail there's still early spring snow on the ground.
Nancy, these trails look like they're maintained.
We spend our summers patrolling the trails and making sure that they're sustainable and clear for people to walk on.
Completely maintained, in great shape, still natural. You guys are doing a beautiful job.
Well, thank you. We enjoy what we do, and we're really glad to have people out here using the trails.
We hike up about 800 feet and hit snow.
Wow. Unbelievable. The rapids are so beautiful. I'm sure you can hear them. It's almost hard to talk. They're so beautiful and so loud in the best way possible.
Melting snow surprises us with a rushing stream, and I get yet another taste of how picturesque the Ruby Mountains can be.
All right, we're starting to get to the snow base here, huh?
Yep, this is where the fun starts.
Does that mean snowshoes?
Yes, I think this might be a good spot to put our snowshoes on. Here you go.
All right.
When I think of snowshoes, this is what I picture. Odd contraptions that look like tennis rackets. Fortunately, ours are high-tech modern versions. Snowshoes work by maximizing distribution of pounds per square inch, or PSI. Distributing the PSI of your body weight over a larger surface area keeps your feet from sinking into the snow.
Wow, look at this. Let me try this. Oh yeah. Is this an Olympic sport?
It should be. Yeah, they grab right on the side hill. They're wonderful, aren't they?
Snowshoe Thompson. He's got nothing on me.
Snowshoeing and Nevada history go hand in hand. John A. Thompson, aka Snowshoe Thompson, used traditional Norwegian snowshoes to deliver mail across the Sierra Nevadas in the 1800s. His death-defying winter treks make him a Nevada legend.
Oh, these snowshoes are amazing.
I know. Easy as walking. Easier than walking.
Wow. Wow. Look at the way the sun hits the side of the mountain and then makes it to the tip of that lake. Hey Nancy, when we left it was spring. Now we're in winter.
With lightweight, durable plastic technology helping our feet float above the snow, our hike is probably a little easier than Snowshoe Thompson's.
It's absolutely majestic.
Soon we arrive at Island Lake. It's frozen over, but still awe-inspiring.
This is a beautiful lake. It's not the only one up here, is it?
It is not, yeah. This is Island Lake, and we have a series of lakes that run south from here down the Ruby Mountain Range. First one are Dollar Lakes, and then we have Lamoille Lake, Liberty, Fav.
And when do they thaw out?
You know, a lot of these lakes don't thaw out until the 4th of July.
Known as a tarn, Island Lake was carved out by glaciers during the last ice age. It's a process called glaciation. As glacial ice moves, it gouges out areas for water to pool.
You come up here with groups a lot, and kids and things. Tell me a little about that.
We have an outdoor program year-round where we do snowshoe hikes, and then we do in the early summer we do a waterfall hike, and later on we do a wildflower hike, ultimately a stargazing hike. And
I can't stop looking at it.
Okay. It's kind of fun to watch the shadows and the sunlight play up on the snow and the rock.
Don't bother me, I'm busy.
Island Lake is the perfect place to stop and daydream. It's one of Nevada's most stunning hidden treasures and proof of what you'll find when you venture into the wilderness.
There's getting off the beaten path, which gives you a great experience, and then there's going one step further, which gives you a spectacular experience.